Well, hey there, ladies and gentlemen. It's me again, Tony, coming to you with another fragrance review. And this time, it is going to be of a more rare, obscure, discontinued fragrance that I believe deserves recognition. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Yohji Homme by Yohji Yamamoto. It was released in 1999, and it was created by the perfumer Jean-Michel Derez. However, let me give you a quick backstory. Now, I have spoken with Jean-Michel Derez on numerous occasions over Facebook, and he is indeed a very good guy. And I'm sure he did, for the most part, create Yohji Homme. However, what they won't tell you is he studied under Jean Carléot. And if you ask me, Jean Carléot is probably the greatest perfumer ever. Now, that's a pretty bold statement, but it's not bold for me when you've created so many classic scents for Jean Patou, including my personal favorite fragrance, Patou pour Homme. So, taking that into consideration, you have to understand that Yohji Homme is a very high quality scent, and the way it's made, it just seems to have Carléot's signature on it. Like I said, there's no doubt that Derez definitely made it, but I'm sure Jean Carléot lent him a bit of a helping hand. Now you may be asking, Jean Patou, well, what does this have to do with Yohji Yamamoto? Well, the cosmetics and fragrance division of Yohji Yamamoto was originally owned in the late 90s by Jean Patou, and then in 2001, Procter & Gamble purchased Jean Patou, and therefore that folded, and thus Yohji Homme and all of the Yohji Yamamoto fragrances were discontinued. Also in 2002, most of the Jean Patou fragrances were discontinued, including Patou pour Homme. However, regardless of some decisions some asshole made, discontinue all these great fragrances, I have Yohji Homme right here and I'm going to review it for you. Let me give you a rundown on the notes. The top notes are coriander, lavender, anise, and bergamot. The middle notes are carnation, cinnamon, licorice, rosewood, and geranium. And the base notes are leather, sandalwood, tonka bean, coffee, rum, and cedar. I would classify Yohji Homme as an oriental fougere with gourmand facets. It's a very flexible, unique fragrance that pushes boundaries. That in the sense that it has the sleek, comforting character of a fougere with the lavender and tonka profile. However, at the same time, it has anise and licorice, which were inspired by Enic Monardo's brilliant fragrance Lolita Lempica. That, combined with the rum and the coffee, give Yohji this very sweet herbal character that is unique and delectable. You could say that Yohji Homme, in a way, is the creme brulee of the fragrance world, because that's what it reminds me of. It has this roasted quality that just cannot be matched. And that roasted quality basically reminds me of a creme brulee with licorice in it. Something I noticed with Yohji Homme, as well as in many other Japanese fragrances from houses such as Shiseido and Comme des Garçons, as I mentioned in my Shiseido Zen review, is that a lot of Japanese fragrances don't project so loud. It's more like they fill the room with an air of subtlety, and Yohji Homme does that same thing. This prevents it from becoming overbearing and cloying. Now, you can still find Yohji Homme online, and I do believe it is worth tracking down. However, if you don't have a stomach for licorice, I would be very careful with this. This one shocked me at first. I did not know what to think of it because the smell of licorice was just too much for me. I did not understand that smell. It was too much for me to handle. However, I let it grow on me over time. I wore it more and the more I warmed up to it, the more and more I realized it's a really comforting, well-made fragrance that deserves all the cult praise that it gets on the internet. I'd say if you're a guy or a girl and you're looking for a fall or winter fragrance that is unique and satisfying, then I would look no further than Yohji Homme. It is most definitely in my top 10 men's fragrances of all time. The fact that Procter & Gamble decided to discontinue these fragrances is a crime, but luckily I have some, and maybe someday they'll come back. The world doesn't have all the raw materials that it used to, and thus perfumery cannot utilize them, but I have a feeling that someday in the near future, some fragrance house will churn out fragrances of quality similar to or equal to Yohji Homme and Homme. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to review this someday. This is a special one. I'm saving it for a special occasion. When it comes to fragrances that are similar to Yohji Homme, I'd like to say Lolita Lempicka au masculin. However, I find that one extremely sweet and cloying. It's just too heavily situated on sugary anise. Body Coros by Nick Minardo is a little closer, but it doesn't have the classiness or richness of Yohji Homme. Actually, probably the closest fragrances would be two fragrances from Hermes Essence collection. One would be Brenda Recluse, which is a licorice fougere, but I would say it's a lot more licorice, and it's not as warm and comforting as Yohji Homme. And then there's also Vetiver Tonka, which is a slightly different take on this, as it has a lot more vetiver, so it would have more of a woody aromatic smell. Regardless, you need to seek out Yohji Homme. It's a great fragrance, and it deserves to be worn. That's my review for today. I wish you all good health and a happy new year, as I'm recording this video on the last day of 2011. And you should probably find yourself some of this before supplies run out. See you guys later!